Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of We Need to Talk, episode number 5, and we're going to be talking about Latinx, and hopefully this starts another crucial dialogue between you guys. Hopefully in the comment section, let me know if you agree or disagree, and all kinds of things. But first, listen to my argument, listen to the facts I have, and wait till we're all educated on some of these things. And obviously, if you guys see some stuff I missed or something like that, put it in the comment section. So yeah, please share this video, like this video, comment your thoughts on this video, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow and have a bigger impact. And this is your host, Jose, starting it off. So what we're going to be talking about today is Latinx and why I argue it should never be used, and people who wants to use it, that they can use it themselves. So now let's list off our quick articles that I'm going to use today. First one we're going to use is Hispanic lawmakers in Connecticut seek official ban on the term Latinx. Number 2, we got stop using Latinx if you really want to be inclusive. And number 3, we got about 1 in 4 U.S. Hispanics have heard of Latinx and just 3% use it. And you'll see where I got those from later on in this video. Before we get into this, first we got to find out what is Latinx, where it originated, and where did it come from, who did this, basically. And there's some other cool information and facts you guys gonna find out later on. So I looked up Merriam-Webster because that's where all the websites and articles I was looking at. I looked about like 30 articles for this video. They all point back to Merriam-Webster, so I went on Merriam-Webster and read the entire thing of Latinx, where it originated, where it came from, why people use it, why people don't use it, stuff like that, and all kinds of things. Latinx and gender inclusivity. So right then and there, Merriam-Webster is telling you what this word is for. It's for the LGBTQ, or it's more about gender inclusivity. Latinx was originally formed in the early aughts as a word for those of Latin American descent who do not identify as being of the male or female gender, or who simply don't want to be identified by gender. See, that's exactly what I'm telling you. It says it on top. Latinx is used generally as a gender neutral term for the Latin Americans, but it has been especially embraced by members of Latin LGBTQ communities as a word to identify themselves as people of Latin descent possessing a gender identity outside the male and female binary. See more about the LGBTQ. I didn't even read that part, and there you go, it's already there. Latinx purposely breaks the Spanish gendered grammatical tradition. See, there you go. That's the issue right there. You guys can see it. I said it. I see it. Nothing is edited. This is straight from the website. So when it says Latinx purposefully breaks the Spanish gendered grammatical tradition, see, they're breaking the tradition of the Spanish language, and they're saying it right there. They're not hiding it. They're not saying that this is just a term for them or this and that. They're breaking tradition. Now, of course, this is our country. We're an American. Obviously, we have so many people living here from different descents, and they all have. I don't hate or dislike any person that wants to do them. I'm more of a liberal on that type of thing, where like you could do what you want behind closed doors. It's everyone's free. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has, I'm that type of person. But when you start forcing us to use language, when you're forcing us to adapt to new words and new terms because you guys, the small minority that is very, very young, are telling the older people in their 30s and even their late 20s and 40s, 50s, 60s, and even whole countries to change their language because you want to feel more included. Come on, man. Like right now, you guys are going to see all the news articles and stuff like that of like big news agencies, news stations, and even news magazines and articles and stuff like that who use these terms. They put it in their news coverage. So this one you have it from Backstage 2007. This one's from Los Angeles Times 2017. This is from Atlanta Journal Constitution 2016, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel 2017, and San Francisco Chronicle 2017. So it looks like right here it might have started back in the day. So the earliest one was 2007 that Merriam-Webster is showing. But 2017, I guess the momentum for Latinx really, blew up. And it didn't blow up in a way where like, oh, look at all these people who are using it. It blew up in a way where it's getting a lot of coverage. It's getting a lot of exposure. We're going straight to our facts and our articles. There's going to be facts in here. There's also going to be opinionated in here. So we're going to go straight to this. All right. We got first one is from The Guardian. Hispanic lawmakers in Connecticut seek official ban on term Latinx. 5 Hispanic Democrats keyword Democrat, propose banning gender-neutral word, arguing it is offensive to state's Puerto Rican population. A group of Hispanic lawmakers in Connecticut have proposed that the state follow Arkansas's and ban the term Latinx from official government documents, calling it offensive to Spanish speakers. So you see, even the Democrats, it doesn't matter, I guess, your political leaning. This matters your cultural leaning. Like you're gonna see later on of other places that they banned it. But as you can see here, that Latinos do not want this. Latinas do not want this. Please stop giving us terms. Please stop giving us words and identifying as such. If some people want to self-identify, they can use their own words, but do not be changing our speech, changing our culture, changing our tradition, forcing us to use terms and forcing us to use language and forcing us to bend by your rules and by your meanings, by your traditions, by your things. You're colonizing all over again. Come on, you guys are becoming huge hypocrites of the history you guys hate. This is ridiculous. We gotta work together in this. There's a TikTok. This is the whole reason why I made this video and did this whole outline. I saw a TikTok that my producer shared to me, and the girl, I guess her race doesn't matter, but she used Latinx for us, like talking about a Mexican story. Once I heard Latinx, I was like, wait, what is? She's using this term? I heard this years ago, but I didn't really care about it. But this girl's using it? No. And this video has over hundreds of thousands of likes. So that means it has millions of views. So I'm watching the video and I checked the comment section because I stopped watching the video after, I heard Latinx. It's hard to move on after hearing something like that. I started reading the comment section. The whole comment section said, stop using Latinx. Please use Latino. Please use Latino. Please. It was just a whole comment. It was like maybe 8 out of 10 comments that was in that video was all people of Hispanic or Latino descent saying, please use our tradition, our traditional words, which is Latino and Latina. Please don't be inventing new stuff for us. Please, come on. And a lot of people were nice about it. I guess a vast majority, even commented. It was like, please don't use Latinx, use Latino when you're identifying Latinos. Now back to this article. Geraldo Reyes Jr., a state representative from Waterbury, chief sponsor of the Connecticut bill and one of the 5 Hispanic Democrats who put their names to it, said Latinx was not a Spanish word, but a rather woke term offensive to the large Puerto Rican population in the state. And this is quotes, I am of Puerto Rican descent and I find it offensive, Reyes said. Last month, Arkansas banned government officials from using Latinx on formal documents, one of the several orders issued by Sarah Sanders, a former White House press secretary under Donald Trump, within hours of taking office as governor. The League of the United States Latin American Citizens, the oldest Latino civil rights group in the U.S., said in 2021 it would no longer use the term Latinx. Okay, come on. That alone puts us all together in a ribbon of that article. That Latinos, the vast majority of Latinos, do not want this word. We don't want it to exist. Come on, like it's ridiculous that we're even having this conversation. I always thought that this woke agenda would never touch the Hispanic community or the Latino community. I was always like, nah, it's something more like, okay, this hopefully doesn't sound like racist or anything or stereotypical, but I always thought this was like a white people thing and a black people thing. I was more like on the fences, kind of like, this is before I got, into politics and, building my own opinions and building my own arguments and building my own ideas and stuff. I always thought like, nah, this is just, a them thing. This is not an us thing. And we don't get involved. And we don't. A lot of my family don't get involved. We don't have opinions on this stuff like that. Just like how I didn't. And now it's coming to my doorstep. Now it's coming to my family. And, so that's when I took a step forward and got involved. There you go. Like, we do not want this. Please don't use this. It hurts us. I almost feel offended. Like, I am at that point where, like, I'm offended when people are making up new terms for us. Because, like, I feel like not the whole thing of, like, putting in a box, but even worse, you're erasing our words. I love the A and the O on behind of everything. It makes our culture beautiful. Like, it differentiates from other cultures or other languages, just like France. France also has gendered language. Our second article, The Conversation. Stop using Latinx if you really want to be inclusive. In July 2022, Did I say that right? In July 2022, Argentina and Spain released public statements banning the use of Latinx or any gender-neutral variant. Both governments released that these new terms are violations of the rules of the Spanish language. Thank you. However, a 2019 Pew Research study and 2021 Gallup poll indicated that less than 5% of the U.S. population use Latinx as a racial or ethnic identity. There you go. So Pew Research and Gallup, for you guys that don't know either one of those, are one of the most, I guess, in the census. Those three are like one of the big dons of polls. If you want to know some really good polls and really good information of how the world and how things are moving on, you can get a very good understanding and a way to wrap your mind around a certain subject. If you look at the polls on Gallup or Pew Research, I 100% recommend it. If someone gives me a Pew Research, I was like, God damn, like these guys are good. So you guys have on screen is a Gallup asked Hispanic respondents about their preferences among the terms Hispanic, Latino, and Latinx results. And these were the results. I'll have the link down in the description, guys. Remember, all those things I'm talking about are all links in the description. Always, every single video, everything I'll talk about, anything I show on screen other than gifts and stuff like that, they would all be on the description. As you can see here, hardly anyone uses it. And then they force people to have an opinion on it. And even a vast majority of them say not to use it. So I guess those have to count for something. The distinct demographic differences of these who are aware of or use Latinx calls into question whether the term is inclusive or just elitist, what I was touching on earlier. Individuals who self-identify as Latinx or are aware of the term are most likely to be used by U.S.-born young adults from 18 to 29. So is that Generation X, between Generation X and Millennials, right? They are predominantly English seekers and have some college education. In other words, the most marginalized communities do not use Latinx. That's exactly what I'm saying. We do not use this. And when I tell my uncles, when I tell my cousins, when I tell my aunts, even my parents, that people are trying to label us as Latinx or they want that term to erase Latino and Latina, even though that's not exactly what they're saying, there are some places where they are distinctly saying that Latinx should be the new term. Scholars, in my view, should never impose social identities onto groups that do not self-identify that way. Some Spanish speakers would rather identify by nationality, say Mexicano or Argentino, instead of using umbrella terms like Hispanic or Latino, but the X can't be easily applied to nationalities like Latinx, Mexicanx, and Argentinx. Like, it sounds horrible. It kills the beauty of the language. Don't exactly roll off the tongue in any language. Meanwhile, gendered articles in Spanish, los and las, for the plural, the becomes lex, lexis, lex. I don't know what that means. While gendered pronouns are él and ella, become elks. You tell me elks sounds better than ella or él. Now we're going to our third article. Pew Research Center. About 1 in 4 U.S. Hispanics have heard of Latinx, and just 3% use it. Young Hispanic women among the most likely to use the term. That's a key factor there. We surveyed 3,030 U.S. Hispanic adults in December 2019 as a part of the 2019 National Survey of Latinos. And here's going to be a pie chart. You guys are going to see who exactly uses it and who doesn't use the percentages and stuff. You guys will see that. That's from Pew Research. However, the population it is meant to describe, only 23% of U.S. adults who self-identify as Hispanic have heard of the term Latinx, and only 3% use it to describe themselves, according to a nationally representative bilingual survey of U.S. Hispanic adults conducted in December 2019 by Pew Research Center. Hispanics who identify with or lean toward the Democratic Party are more likely to have heard of Latinx than those who identify with or lean toward the Republican Party, 29% versus 16%. So, like I was saying earlier, a Republican Latino, which is a traditional one, would not use this at all. And it's showing here that if you're from the Democratic Party and you're Latino or or Latina, that there's a higher likelihood chance, almost double, that you would use it. Hispanics say Latinx should be used as a pan-ethnic term. Few say they prefer it over others. A majority of 61% say they prefer Hispanic to describe the Hispanic and Latino population in the US, and 29% say they prefer Latino. Meanwhile, just 4% say they prefer Latinx to describe their Hispanic or Latino population. Wow. Come on. You guys can argue about a lot of things. You guys can fight about a lot of things, but you cannot fight against numbers. This is 3,000 people. I think, was it, for a poll to make sense, it's like somewhere around a 1,500 to like half standing is around 1,500 people. This is 3,000. I'm pretty sure you can do a poll of like 30, 40,000. I think you'll still hit around 5%, maybe somewhere around there. People use it, because I don't know a single person in my entire family that use Latinx. I do have some cousins who are non-binary. I'll probably ask them if they identify as Latinx, but I don't think so, because they never told me anything like that. I never heard them use it. I don't even know if they know the term, but I'm confident they do. Hopefully, you guys understand my argument, mine and my producers. This is not just my argument. This is my producer's argument as well. That we do not agree, and also coming from Hispanic background or Latino background, me and my producer and my family, we all feel that this is BS, and we should not tolerate other cultures mixing, destroying our traditions, and mixing and destroying our words and our language. Like, you guys can do it with English, right? English is spread between a bunch of countries, stuff like that. Spanish is too, but not as much. I think somewhere around like 7% of the world's population uses Spanish. It's not that big. English is big. I just want to close my final argument with this. This is ours, man. When people like it, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to describe my emotions other than frustration and confusion, and also offended at the same time, and surprised that it hit our community as well. I mean, I shouldn't. Every single community is gonna get hit eventually. One thing we do, if anything would end, I really hope wokeness would end. Like, wokeness has not brought anything good. Like, I get it when they want to like cancel culture, for an example. Cancel culture when they ban like really, really bad people, but I really believe that we're supposed to protect traditions that are from back in the day and cultures from back in the day, like we do history museums. Languages, I think, is the same thing. It's something that shouldn't be touched upon. It shouldn't be changed. It shouldn't be altered. Like, the words that could be added and should be added are words more like for the future, kind of like new technologies, um, I don't know, new hobbies, stuff like that. But when it comes to changing and all on a whole language, you're breaking our whole language structure. Like, it says on Merriam-Webster that it's purposefully. Let me see. Let me get the exact quote. Here's the exact quote. Latinx purposefully breaks the Spanish's gendered grammatical tradition. Now, you guys tell me if that's okay. Come on, like, I thought we're supposed to be protecting cultures and traditions. I thought we're supposed to be protecting our differences. I think every culture and every ethnicity, every race, every color, whoever you are, everyone should be treated the same with kindness and respect, and everyone should be honest with each other. And we shouldn't be doing this to cultures and languages and stuff like that. We're meddling in something that's way deeper than just the United States here. Hopefully, this makes it to a lot of people's minds, and we can finally put this argument to rest. I don't think, if someone can find a better argument, put the link in the description. I would look up any sources you guys want. I don't force myself to be right. Sometimes I come off as stubborn, but I do not shy away from information. Please like this video, share this video with your friends and family, comment your thoughts on this video, subscribe to this channel to help us grow and have a bigger impact. This is your host, Jose, hitting escape. Peace.